Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Welcome to the second segment of the Cannon Project. But there's no James Rowe because it's James Rowe's birthday. There's no Godfather. He's not to his, I think he's lost his voice. Maybe all that shouting. There was some game yesterday. I didn't see the game. Did you see the game yesterday, Ralph?
I was working, man. I was working. But I got into my car and I went on my phone and it said 3-0. I was thinking, by the time I got in, it was 3-1. So, but still, a beautiful day.
Yeah. I've been trying to avoid it all for the whole weekend, being away. And then when I got to my mum's, crossed the threshold, mum has the radio up loud. Oh, and Arsenal beating Tottenham 3-1. I'm thinking, all right, thank you. I didn't want to see that or hear until I got home, but
I'm amazed that mum didn't have the flag out, to be honest.
But anyway, guys, yeah, it's just the second segment of the Cannon Project. But yeah, we'll even knock this one out of the park in 45 minutes. It'll be inside an hour anyway. But as usual, we'll get into this one. Reviewing the North London derby, kind of, because it's a bit weird. My brother didn't see it. I didn't see it. This one's going to be interesting. See you on the other side of this music intro. North London derby. Yes, welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. I thought one of these days, my brother's going to be he's going to be doing a show sometime in the close future, not distant future. Maybe sometime.
Yeah, definitely. Take the reins.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to see a different face, being the anchorman rather than my boat race every single time. But anyway, guys, make sure you
to be fair, your boat race every single time. Maybe it needs a bit of a change.
I know where you live.
Yeah, in fact, I think most people know.
Stalker Alley. Just subscribe. That's what you've got to do. Just subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV. Right, so I don't know how we're going to approach it. I think maybe I might start by just kind of read in shorts the segments from the morning show, and then maybe Ralph can just kind of chip in any which way but loose. But anyway, the first segment we spoke about this morning was this person. What's wrong with this person trying to imitate me? Who does he think he's trying to be me? Right, yeah, the guy on the right, Daniel.
Alex.
Watch it, bro.
I think maybe more the guy below to Henri's shoulder. Or maybe the back of the head of that guy.
Well, you know what? The back of the guy's head, I thought that was Patrick Vieira, but no, it's not Patrick Vieira. It's not Patrick Vieira. But anyway, new segment. Thierry Henry enjoys Arsenal's North London derby win with a takeover hopeful Daniel Ek. Daniel Ek, the Swedish billionaire who wants to buy Arsenal, was in attendance at the Emirates Stadium to watch his beloved Gunners win over the bitter rivals Tottenham Hotspurs. And he was in good company. He's in good company. Yeah, you could see there's a Thierry Henry, the legend. We're not sure who these other guys are. But it was a good day to be had by all. There was on the morning show, Ashley D said it was all a gimmick. Daniel Ek coming in and supposedly wanting to buy Arsenal. It was all down to his empire, Spotify. Got a few subscribers, didn't he, Daniel Ek? Anyway, Ralph, anything you want to say, Ralph? Yeah, Ralph, go on, go for it. Yeah, go on.
I'm a subscriber. way before Daniel Ek was in the frame. I was like, I like my music, and Spotify was just one of those platforms. I thought that you're trying to keep up with the youth, as it were. But But yeah, anyway, yeah. So back to this. Beautiful, beautiful day. And it's just the reactions. I think from what I saw the highlights last night, and it's the first time in a long time. When Arsenal used to win, I used to record it and keep the tape because we was that team at that time. To me, yesterday was like going back to the team as it should be, as it should have been. The way they came out on the pitch, there was intent, man. You can see it, and it must have been well, not it must have been. It looked amazing to be actually at the stadium. I know where we are in terms of say not trying to get too carried away, trying to still keep on with the realness of behind the scenes, so to speak. But just to put that on one side for 90 minutes because it's our rivals. I don't even say they are rivals, because they may have been ahead, but what reversal change of fortune, eh? Like beginning of the season, after our first 3 matches, they were top and lauding it, and now look what happened. Look where they are now, eh? Wait, I'll tell you something. Football's a funny old game, Alex.
It is.
Football's a funny old game, and to actually, what was really classy was at the start of the match where everyone paid respects to Jimmy Greaves because he passed on, and both sides kneeled as well, which is again putting a difference aside, respect was due. You know what I mean? So that was the one of the best ways to send that great player off. But the only thing I have to say though, the only I suppose annoying part was that I was out on Saturday night and I didn't know Joshua was boxing at their ground until my man was walking out and he had that name above his head. I was thinking, you have to learn the lessons from Michael Watson. Michael Watson, it was a really serious situation, but he fought at their ground. And to me, no good can ever come for playing at their ground if you're boxing, man. So hopefully Anthony is feeling that, and he'll be on his way to hopefully regaining the title. But yeah. Anyway, back at the Emirates. Yeah. They all look positive. They all look like they needed to prove a point. Arteta put his trust in Xhaka. What do you think of Xhaka playing, X?
Well, I did on last week. I did mention about Xhaka. The report came from Sky Sports and was saying that the headline, Mikel Arteta has difficult decision to make. I thought that's not a difficult decision for Mikel Arteta. Of course he's going to play Xhaka. Of course. So I wasn't surprised, Ralph. I wasn't surprised. It was a difficult decision. Whether to play. He got injured as well, didn't he, in the 82nd minute?
Yeah. I wasn't surprised, but I was hoping that they wouldn't play because the team has won 2 matches without him, and now it seems to emphasize the point now that we need him. I was arguing with someone on Twitter about it as well, but he's come good. Whether he's going to be still with the team at the end of the season, I don't know. But game by game, at this moment in time, the boy done well. He done well.
Yeah. All right, the second, we all want to talk about Granit Xhaka. It was always going to be Granit Xhaka, the return of Granit Xhaka, the Xhaka effect. I don't know, man. I don't know. Arteta has said in game reaction that he's pretty worried. She's pretty worried about the injury suffered by Granit Xhaka and Arsenal's 3-1 win over Spurs. I don't know, man. I'm not falling for it. I don't think it's a serious injury, but you can't separate his man from his best friend. Apparently, it would appear. But Granit Xhaka, if it's just a slight thigh injury or whatever, you can expect to see him in the next available game, which is against Brighton away as an evening kickoff. But Granit Xhaka, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Albert Samuel Lokonga came on by default because Xhaka got injured. But going forward, he's always going to play Granit Xhaka, Ralph. He will always play Granit Xhaka.
Yeah, until Xhaka decides to leave and not be swayed,
Yeah.
because it was Edu and Arteta both, come up that press conference or press release saying how he was never going to leave anyway, even though if he had talks with Roma and he was sporting the Roma top. I mean, the guy is like feeling the top, but he's like, no, you're not leaving yet, Xhaka. We've got other plans for you. But
All right.
it would be a bit cynical, I suppose, but not too cynical.
Yeah. All right. Next segment we spoke about was Aaron Ramsdale. Now, I've been in contact, actually, once I got home with James Rowe, because, again, it's his birthday today, and he said to me there was a super save by Aaron Ramsdale towards the end. I was thinking, what? Really? Okay. All right. So I saw the highlights on YouTube, best part of about 4 to 5 minutes. And I saw the save. I'm thinking it wasn't so much the save that impressed me about. What impressed me more than anything else, because there's no doubt in my mind, Leno would have probably done the same save. But what impressed me about Ramsdale was he did the save, tipped it onto the crossbar, it deflected off one of the defenders and went out for a corner. But it was his reaction. When he got up back on his feet, he was shouting at defenders and midfielders. And I imagine what he was saying. You let him get a shot in. You should have closed him down. Leno would never have done that. He would have probably done the save. Probably, I mean, a good shot stopper, both good shot stoppers. But Leno would have got back to his feet, prepared himself for the corner. He would not have communicated to the defenders or the midfielders. He would not have shouted. But Ramsdale, I thought, I wasn't so impressed with the save. The save was really good. But his reaction after making the save, shouting at the defenders. I was thinking, wow. But it's still early days, Ralph. It's still early days, But let me read the segment, what he actually says here, post game. So Aaron Ramsdale annoyed with himself despite Arsenal's dominant win over Tottenham. Also, goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale was left annoyed with himself for not keeping a clean sheet, despite the arousing 3-1 victory over Tottenham on Sunday at the Emirates. Well, we know the Gunners really impressed and squashed Spurs with goals from Emerson Rowe, Aubameyang, and Bukayo Saka. But it was the English shot stopper who got his hand to the shot from Song, only palmed it into the net, and he was frustrated because he knew he could have saved the South Koreans' effort. I don't think he could have saved it from a close range. But again, Ralph, I was impressed with his reaction after doing the save, got to his feet, and was shouting at the defenders. Your thoughts, Ralph? Ramsdale.
To me, it was an important save. Funnily enough, when I parked up and I thought, let me just put the radio on. I put the radio on, and I was just listening to was it Song? Who was it? Who was it who had the shot on goal for them? Do you know?
Say that again, Ralph.
I said, who's the person who had the shot on goal that made Ramsdale do the save?
Luka Moura, I think.
Moura, that's it, Luka Moura. Yeah, so I just heard Moura got it, and they said it was an incredible save. And when I saw it, I was thinking, actually, it was an incredible save because it would have come in at the time that they already scored 1 goal. So if that ball had gone in, it'd be like, I think it would have been a rather tense last 10 minutes. But to me, that was an incredible save. Yeah, Leno probably would have saved the goal that Ramsdale almost got his hand to, because I remember a couple of years ago when we played them, or they played us at our ground. Leno pulled out like a double save, and it was almost similar. It was almost similar shot. So, but listen, Ramsdale, his passion, you can see his passion. Actually, I saw the interview with BT Sports when he was stood next to Dave Seaman, and he was like, he's humbled. I thought that he might have been a bit shorter than Seaman, but he's a bit taller than Seaman. He's a bit taller. So just to listen to him, he's got the makings of being a really great goalkeeper. Let's not get it twisted. 2 games or 3 games in, and after 3 games, 2 clean sheets ain't really bad, and 1 goal. It's not really bad, Alex. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's what you want. You want your goalkeeper to tell you, you know, hang on a minute now, what the hell are you doing? You know, you have to be. Some goalkeepers aren't vocal. Some captains aren't vocal. Some midfielders aren't vocal. You know, defenders. I think defenders are a different breed. But you know, to have your goalkeeper remonstrating, telling you what you should have done, gives you more confidence because it keeps you on your toes as well. And I like his demeanor. I didn't know nothing about this guy other than knowing that past history. He's been with 2 clubs that have gone down. But to me, at this moment in time, he's cemented himself, and that's what you want. You want competition for places. I can't see Leno getting a look in anytime soon, if I have to be totally honest.
What must Leno be thinking, Ralph? God damn.
I wish I kept my mouth.
I am number 1. I will be number 1. Am I number 1? No, Leno, you're not, mate.
Right. But he sounds quite grounded as well. Listening to him, he sounds humble. He sounds, as much as I think it's really good to have that kind of self-critical look at yourself, because it's something that is self-motivation. Some people don't have that. They like to be told what to do or shown what to do. But if you've got that in yourself and you can improve, then that makes it better for you to raise your standards. And then your players around you start raising their standards as well, because they know what to expect.
Yeah. I did like that reaction. Again, it wasn't just so much to say. It was like after that, guy got onto his feet and he was just shouting at the defenders, "You should have closed him down." I was thinking, wow, goodness, man. All right, yeah. So that was the North London derby, 3-1. Again, goals from Emma Smith-Rowe, Aubameyang, and then Saka. And again, I'm not sure why the 3rd goal by Bukayo Saka sticks out in my mind more than the first 2 goals. Maybe it could be because there was the assist from Harry Kane. He slipped and he tried to recover his pace, and then I think Saka tried to cross the ball. It came off Harry Kane, and then Saka said, "You know what? Forget about part of the ball. I'm just gonna score the goal." And I thought, yeah, but I'll say we've got to make sure we don't only turn up when we're at home, when there are dignitaries in the stadium, when there are ex-players, a potential new owner. We've got to make sure that we turn up for almost all the games. All the games, even when we've lost, a man who's got the red card, when we're like maybe 2-0 down inside 10 minutes. We've got to show that passion there, Ralph, for all the games of the season going forward. And the next game is the Brighton game. I'm not even thinking about Crystal Palace. 1 game at a time. 3-1 to the Arsenal, Ralph. 3-1. You want to say anything else?
No, well, yeah, in the sense that you're right. It is 1 game at a time. And, celebrate yesterday, today, but then, your mind goes onto the next fixture and preparing in the right way. And the conversations that we've had, Alex, when I said, I can't understand why players can't get themselves motivated for when you're at home, it's expected. It's expected that you've got to show up and you've got to pull it all on the line. You've trained all week. Now the training becomes the practice and the action behind it. And when players say, "Oh, I'm not motivated," or "I couldn't wait to get off," or whatever, it goes against my grain, because I'm thinking you're representing something far more than yourself. And when you pull off a result like this, I mean, as Arsenal fans, we've been waiting for this kind of performance for the longest time. So now what we demand that you do that every match. And we know that there's going to be difficult matches and easy ones. But if you put that kind of performance in and you leave it all on the pitch, then we can't argue. We can't argue, So that's my kind of like take on it. It's the fact that you when you turn up, the North London derbies are always going to be difficult anyway. But it's taking that performance and saying, right, these are all the positives. Next match on, this is what we've got to do. Let's just keep it that way, and let's have a backup plan if things don't go the way as they should go. You know, being that bit more prepared. But yeah, let's celebrate. But then next match on.
Yeah, yeah. There was another segment in regards to and Nicolas Pepe, but I think what we do, because there's been a couple of comments in regards to Nicolas Pepe, because he didn't feature, he wasn't chosen as a starter, as was Lacazette. But when I arrive at that comment there, then we'll talk about Nicolas Pepe. But no break, let's go straight into the live chat. I've got Ashley D says, hey up Gooners, and hey up to you, Ashley D. Got the assemble says, good afternoon, Alex and Ralph. A brilliant win. So the players and managers have no more excuses left. There can be no excuse, Ralph. Yeah, no excuse.
Right.
And I just kind of got the impression that after Aubameyang scored his goal, he slid on his knee. Very reminiscent of Thierry Henry. So I think he knew Thierry Henry was in the stadiums. But again, I don't want to see that performance just because it's the North London derby. I want to see that performance in almost all the games, because all players are going to go off their forms. You know, players might get injured, but don't just rock up because you know a legend is in the stadium. Do it every single game going forward. I've just seen a comment from Arsenal Alex where he's saying consistency. Wanted to keep to the same 11. Consistency. Stick with the same 11, all barring injuries or suspensions. But all these elements there, try and keep the same consistency. We will all know what? We all know. Oh, what? I'm not sure what he means. What does he mean by that? Here
we all know where he lives. Huh? We all know where. We all know where he lives.
All right, that's you. That is, yeah. Ralph, a minute silence for Spurs fans. Oh, that's it. That's it. That's it. Big dogs, Alex. Get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go.
Tottenham get battered wherever they go.
Nice one, big dogs. Nice one, man. Nice one. Sam says Spurs just missed the perfect scoreline by one goal. Yeah, man. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Followed by 3-0, yeah, and 3-1. I think that's the first time in their history they've lost by 3 or more goals in their history. I swear I seen Josh Kroenke sat behind them. Really? What, behind Spurs? No, I know what you mean. Really? Let's have a look. Let's have a butchers. Let's have a look. Well, yeah, it's not clear from this photo here. So
you need to blow up that photo, Alex.
Probably find a photo somewhere else. But yeah, it could be. It could be. No in. There's been some talk actually that Harry Kane is not performing because it could be he doesn't like the management style of Nuno Espirito Santos. I don't really care, man. I don't really care.
Long way.
Yeah. Nuno will be thinking Kane is not performing, so some blame shall go on him. Kane shall be thinking Nuno is not delivering, so Nuno will be held responsible. Don't really care. Don't really care. Alex, you missed one of the best North London derbies in the past 5 years. By the way, just saying. And so did my brother as well.
Yeah. Gutted.
Tonight on BBC Two, Fever Pitch about Wenger and Fergie. Yeah, everyone's been watching the series over the last, I think, is it 4 weeks now? The rise of the Premier League. Yeah, what was it last week? Last week was about Newcastle, wasn't it? And Kevin Keegan saying, "I'd love it. I would love it if them lot are thinking, we know how
I just love it.
I just love it." But good shout, actually. Good shout, actually. Would you say absence of Pepe made things click better? If so, would you not prefer Pepe? Like I said on the morning segment, for me, Project Pepe has not worked. Not worked. Again, he's just reverting back to type. So frustrating. So frustrating. If he ever wants to know how he should be playing that role as a one-footed, so heavy one-footed, left-footed, look at Mo Salah. Look at Mo Salah, Pepe. Look at the videos day in and day out. He keeps it so simple. But no, what do you want to do? You want to cut in? You want to cut out again? Cut. Ralph, you remember when we used to play a World Cup in Bethnal Court? And the first one that came to mind was when you're playing with maybe another player and the player hogs onto the ball. It's so frustrating, isn't it, Ralph? Pepe's like that, Ralph. He's like that.
But Alex, when we were playing World Cup in Bethnal Court, there was about 30 of us.
Yeah.
It was only until you got down to almost like the semi-finals, where there's only about like maybe 6 or 8 of you. Then you start realizing that, hang on a minute now. Remember Rodney Marsh? There's a left footer.
Yeah.
Rodney Marsh.
Yeah.
And if you could link him with Rodney Marsh, you knew you was going to get to the final. You know what I mean? Because nobody liked left foot players. Nobody liked left foot players. But if you got hold of Rodney Marsh, you knew that you was going to get to the final. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're right. There's always one player who fancied himself, decided to kick the ball because he can score from 30 yards or something. But then he get tired quick, and you start doing all the work yourself. So
do you remember Costa?
Yeah,
Costa.
I remember Costa.
Yeah,
Costa and Adrian.
Yeah, who's passed away. He passed away a few years ago now. He's passed away.
No.
Yeah, I'll talk to you when we go off the air. He's passed away, Ralph.
No.
Passed away. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, Pepe. I don't know. I think Arteta must be looking at him thinking, £72 million. Do you know what, Pepe?
But
January transfer window. You've been explained. Go on, Ralph. Sorry.
But the thing is, in essence, he's a good player. When he does score some good goals. Surely there's got to be someone there that can say to him, look, you know what, you just have to change up a little bit. We're going to give you like a month, maybe 6 weeks to start. You have to start adapting your play. If it means practicing more on your right foot than your left, if it means like taking the ball from the halfway line and just running in, and then if you get a chance, if you got like a Laka or a Martinelli, for example, to support, to lay it off, so then they've got pace and they can finish off. He needs to start changing his tactics, because obviously he was found out when we got him. It was to say like it took them like a season to get used to him. As soon as he played for us, he got found out because he was taking his time on the ball.
But I look at the little highlights, 5-minute highlights. Bukayo Saka was direct, Ralph.
Yeah, exactly.
Direct.
He's got that though.
Of course, but if you want to add something to your armory, again, just don't make it so easy for the fullback. He knows what you're going to do. We know what you're going to do. You know what you're going to do. Do something different. Saka, direct. So direct. Frustrating. So I think, would you say absence of Pepe made things click better? Yes. Yeah. Because if it wasn't Saka on the right, it would have been Pepe on the right. Cutting in, cutting out again, cutting back again. No. So I think most likely, Arteta must be looking at Pepe thinking, £72 million, you know what, I think your days are numbered, mate. Your days are numbered. All right, Colin Young says hello.
Hello.
All right, Colin. Are you all right, Colin? just say hello. What's coming after that? Xhaka is a ticking time bomb. Even yesterday, the ref had to warn him a couple of times as he just lunges in. Right, I did again. The highlights, didn't see that. I didn't even see the part when he got injured. But lunging in again, Ralph. But yet, Mikel Arteta is going to play Granit Xhaka. He's going to play him.
It's something that he's not going to change anytime soon. Why should he? Why should he? And this match, excuse me, this match now pretty much justifies his mindset. I can go in, I can lunge around, but we've won. and I've been selected. So
yeah. I love the passion from Arteta on the sidelines yesterday. Well, it was easy, isn't it? When you're winning, it's easy, isn't it? It's when you're on a bad run. That is when your character is tested. When you're presented with yourself. It's easy when you're winning, isn't it? It's easy to have the passion and the love and the support for Arsenal. But it's when things are not going the right way, people are found wanting, Ralph, isn't it? I mean, I could have been the manager on the sideline because we were winning. I'm just saying.
But I must admit, I didn't like when the first goal went in, and he was like,
yeah, I saw. Yeah. Right, there we go. Colin says, luckiest man on the planet. Arteta brings Xhaka straight back into the 11 and gets a Spurs team laying a stinker, a smelly stinker. Was it more about Spurs not playing well, or was it more about Arsenal literally just what was it, Ralph? What was it? No?
From what I've seen, it was just the intensity. From what I see, it's just the players knew for the first time in a long time, they knew what they had to do. They know it's a London derby. You know, the fans were like the 12th man, and you know, they had to get it done. They had to get it done. I think that, you know, Arsenal just blew them away. Tottenham, oh, I hate saying that word. They had their strong team. They just didn't click. Song, to be honest, you know, he had a couple of chances before as well. So, and Tomiyasu, you know, just had him in his pocket until that unfortunate goal. But no, I think it was more of a case of Arsenal was that good. I'm not going to say anything different anyway. So.
Xhaka is a joke, man. All right, because Ramsdale was a world class yesterday. Again, I'm loving his passion. But if you're going to ask me, what do I think about, you know, the new players that Arsenal brought in the transfer window? For me, it's too soon. Let's do the estimation at the end of the season. Then I'll give you the blow by blow. 2 world-class saves. He went down low. Okay, on one, and obviously the one you are talking about now. Okay. The reason Xhaka is normally in the team is because he's reliable. He hardly ever gets injured. Can you name a time when injury kept him out? He normally misses games through suspension. That's actually true, Ralph, isn't it? If he's not there, it's usually because he's suspended, not because he's injured.
Yeah, no, that's a fair analysis as well, to be honest.
Don Arsenal says, Arsenal FC, are we by far the greatest team Alex has ever seen? Well, I've got a question for you, Don Arsenal. Are you still Arteta out?
Ooh.
That's a rough. Do you think El Rowe goes to the World Cup for you?
Well, you see, Saka was at the Euros, and he became like a part player until he started, you know, putting the balls where England weren't really that forward moving. So if we can have Saka in the Euros, I don't see why not. Why not can't we have Emma Smith-Rowe in the World Cup? But it's all about protecting the players. I have to emphasize this point. The first 2 matches, Norwich and Burnley, after the international break, Saka looked a bit leggy. He looked a bit slow. And yesterday, it looked as if he's always been that way. We have to be very protective to our younger players, because when we go on a run like this, like you said at the start, Alex, you know, stop asking Arteta not to tinker too much. It's a very fine balance between consistency, but also you have to learn how to, like, you know, let your players have the rest at the right times. If it means taking them off when the game's pretty much won, or, you know, do you need to keep them on right to the last, like, 90th minute, when you can see them, they're maybe blowing a little bit, but tempo is there. because that team can hit us on the break at any minute. I think the defense is clicking in the right place so far. I'm not going to say now, but so far. Let's wait until we have the heavier matches like the Liverpools and the Man Uniteds, Everton, Leicester, West Ham, Crystal Palace. You know, when we play against those fixtures and we have the same back four, or would he revert to a back three, depending you know, how he wants to play it. It's going to have to be based game by game and how many goals we score and how many goals we create as well. Don't forget, Odegaard, he was running his socks off, from what I heard. He ran from first minute to last. And he you know, even though the ball may have gone back behind him, he came back for it because he was on something. I don't know if he had some good West Indian food behind him because he needs some beefing up or something, but he was on it. He was on it, man. So, but it's always going to be a rather. This is the skill set of a manager, not just a coach, a manager. You know, that's your resources. Yeah, you're great, you're consistent, but then if you're going to start getting that bit leggy or tired, and we've got another international break coming up as well after Brighton. Yeah. So, but yeah. Back to question. I would like to see him. I would like to see Emma Smith Rowe play in the World Cup. But then it's obviously down to form and you know, is he going to peak at the right time?
Yeah. Okay. Big Loss says, yeah, it's Lucas Moura who had the shot. Ramsdale was out of his goal for the late save. It would have been his fault if the ball went in, but he didn't go and did it. Don't Arsenal. I feel like that West Brom battering gave Ramsdale his current confidence and form. Leno ball boy incoming. Harry Kane still one of our own with the assist. Yeah, man. Nice. Thank you for the assist. Arsenal Alex, good evening. Says that consistency is key and trying to keep the players injury free as well. But yeah.
Well, we know that's not going to happen. We know that's not going to happen. So you have to make sure that the players that you've got. I mean, Ainsley Maitland-Niles came on, didn't he? Apparently, 3/4 of the way in. So you have to be careful. If anything was to happen, then he has to slip in. Yeah. He likes playing midfield as well. So you know, to put him in where he can fill that gap. And then maybe the another thing, although Partey played well yesterday. Pepe, what happens if you do introduce Pepe back into the team?
Exactly.
Because of injuries and suspension or whatever. So
Big Box says all 3 goals were quality. Kane's assist on the 3rd goal. Alex, Daniel Ek has been on football matches more than Kroenke. Yeah, he has. He has. Yeah. That tells you a lot, doesn't it? I expect us to beat Norwich, Burnley, and Spurs. Whoa. Really? So Alex, yeah? Okay. All right. The standards must improve. Static is in the house. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Static.
Oops, this one? No, I haven't. So it's here again. I agree. That's what I said to you a few days ago or yesterday. It must have been yesterday. Daniel Ek and Henri. It's Santo, not Santos. The Santo. Okay, thank you for correcting my Portuguese. Those people that speak Spanish. But who cares? Tottenham lost again. Well done, Arsenal. Luck doesn't have consistency. This guy, Arteta, has lived on luck. Everything good he's gotten came off some fluky luck scenario. All right.
Wow.
He got it. Do you want to say something, Ralph? Do you want to say something? No?
Well, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I think at this moment in time, let's just support the team. You know, we've got our criticisms. we're quite strong when it comes to dishing it out when the team hasn't performed, because we feel in our gut that we know what needs to be done. And yesterday, let's hope that yesterday was the benchmark into something really, really good. You know what I mean? So let's get behind the team.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good evening, Ross. I hope you're keeping well, my friends. Pepe seems to play better on the left. So, okay. So obviously he's been played on the right. I think that is right, actually. Yeah, he's played better on well, anyway. Saka's pass terms for old Pepe would have just passed the ball back. All right. Wilma Fire says, I enjoyed the forced solar eclipse yesterday. Solar eclipse.
That's a comment of the thing. My man, come on a scientific tip there, man.
Thanks for coming, Yashu, our hero. All right. Daniel Eck is planning another behind the scenes. Yes, his first bid was either a PR stunt or a test to test the waters. Men like Eck are clever. Something's gonna happen by Christmas, I feel. I'm gonna hold you to that, big dogs, man. Hold you to that. Shaka does not get injured because he takes out the players that could have injured him. All right. Spurs were outplayed yesterday, but they are also a team out of form. What else do we have here? If Arteta goes unbeaten in the next 5 games, now I'll give him more time. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything to that.
You pulled up the same kind of scenario. If memory serves me, about a month ago, you said what happens if Arteta goes on a run, then drops, then goes on a run again and drops. You know, what do you want to do? So
what do you do? What do you do?
That kind of way. Yeah.
Yeah, because what do you do? So yeah, next 5 games. What happens if he wins the next 5 games, but then loses 3 or 4? What do you do then? I don't see it as simple as that. As from Ralph, I've always loved Arteta. Not once have I wanted him out. Who wants him out? You do. You want him out.
Oh, but yeah. Amazon Prime Time now, isn't it? Amazon Prime Time now. So, what if?
Actually, it seems to guarantee he keeps his place. Must be something in that. I don't see it as simple as that, man. Alex and Ralph, it's all good with our first 11, but what happens if Partey, Tierney, and Gabriel get injured? Then we deal with it when that happens. If it happens, yeah, then we'll deal with it. But there is some squad depth there, but we'll deal with it when and if it happens. There is cover for Tierney. Is it a cover for Gabriel? Not so, but we deal with it when it happens, if and when it happens.
Let's make an emergency call for Saliba.
yeah. And who's in the house here? Chairman of the board, Mube Guna, says, family. Oh, feeling great from yesterday's game, Alex. Like I told you, give it time. But you can't. But I've said the same thing. What are you talking about? Listen. Don't get it twisted, Mube. I have not said once I want the manager gone like you did with Unai Emery. Yeah, you didn't want to give him any time, did you, Mube? I've not said I want to, get the guy out. I've said, got to give it time. What are you talking about? Yeah, well, one central midfielder away from a perfect window. Top 4, here we come. That's not going to happen. I do still feel we're maybe 2 or 3 players short. Yeah, I don't know. A defensive midfielder could be. But what are you talking about? Let's give it time. I've always said that. Sorry, Ralph. Do you want to say something, Ralph? Sorry, man.
I'm thinking that if Mube is still on the Hennessy. He must have been celebrating hard yesterday, man.
What are you talking about, Mube, man? I've always said that. I mean, I have been, like you have been, his biggest critic of Arteta, but I've never called for his head. As that's not down to me. We don't influence anything at Arsenal. But you can't have it all one way. Yeah, when they play well, we say they play well. When they play bad, we say they play bad. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, calm? What are you talking about, man? Joker. Get off that Hennessy, man. Get off that Hennessy. Arsenal need to be consistent if they have any chance of finishing in the top 4 or top 6. It takes more than just buying new players to do it. Exactly, Static. Exactly. Yeah. And he says, as Rafa, good show, boys. Thank you for that. I know you said that. You, this Emery guy. But that's a perfect, that for me, that was the watershed moment there, Mube. Because I said, once you start, sacking managers because they lose games, then the Pandora's box is open. That never which can be closed again. We are part of the modern day footballing hierarchy now. Yeah? We had Wenger for 20 odd years. We'll never see that again. But it called for stability and supporting the manager. You wanted Emery out. You wanted Emery out. Did we ever finish 8th place, Ralph, with Unai Emery?
But again, it falls into the what if category, to be honest. We can only go by what actually happened. So what happened was 5th. I keep on saying this. I was one of the ones that said, no, we deserve more than that. Time for the manager to go. And we've been in like a semi-wilderness for 2 seasons on top of after Emery. So now, just because of what happened yesterday, let's not get it twisted. There's still some issues still going on in the club. You know what I mean? This what happened yesterday, as fine and as beautiful a day, and seeing Ian Wright and Thierry Henry and David Seaman, it was fantastic. If we're going to start talking real and being real, let's say it for what it is. We still got an owner where was he yesterday? Where was the owner yesterday? You got a protagonist in Daniel Ek who wants to show that he wants to buy into this club because he's a lifelong fan, and who's he sat next to? A Highbury legend.
Yeah.
So where was Josh then? Where was Kroenke? This is the biggest. It's not to say they don't know when the fixtures come out. You know what I mean? They know when we're going to play them down the road. So you would want to represent, and they weren't, as far as I'm aware, they weren't there. If they were there, then they're probably behind, smoke mirrors. We don't know. We don't know. But it's all good when it's like this. It's when it starts getting heavy, when the results are not going our way, when we're questioning the manager and the players and everything else, and they're also, oh my God, it's Kroenke again. It's going to raise an ugly head at some point, because we don't forget. You know what I mean? We may temporarily have amnesia when we do win these matches, because we're fans. We're thinking more about the match, but we also got to think about the bigger picture. We've got to think about a bigger picture. So let's just, it's great match in, match out, but don't forget about these people at the top still, and don't forget about what we've done as fans. We've also got to take responsibility for the way that we treated players, ex-players, and managers as well. You know what I mean? So if I'm bringing it a bit down after yesterday, but sometimes you have to be real. You have to be real.
Don Arsenal says, Alex and Ralph, obviously, you've both been at Highbury and the Emirates. Which one is the loudest when it is bouncing? Well, I've been at the Highbury a few times. Also, I played there as well. And we're both, Ralph and myself, we've been at the Emirates quite a few times. And I've got to say, I prefer Highbury all day long. Bring me your 38,000 fans in a small stadium, rocking close to the pitch. The Emirates, it's more miss than hit. So yeah, I prefer Highbury all day long than to the Emirates, in brackets the library. But Ralph, you?
I've barely touched Highbury. I've gone there when we beat Parma in '94, and I drove past it. I was moving. It's me and my then girlfriend at the time was expecting our first, and we was watching the match while we was unpacking, and I drove us around the stadium at the end. But I've always been in and around Highbury. I've never gone to the ground. I was thinking, I'll do it tomorrow. It's one of those regrets. So, I mean, I saw my brother play there, and it was a joy and an honour. And I even reminded my brother that we used to go to the training ground there as well. They had a training pitch which he hardly remember, but we used to go there a couple of times. But for me, I've grown up around Highbury. It would have been great to have gone. I've been to the Emirates quite a few times, thanks to my mate Simon. But I would swap. I would still swap to be at Highbury purely because you're close to the players, and it was just that fortress. And every team that came there, they knew that they were in for a hard time. They knew they were in for a hard time. It didn't matter if it was the team from '89 or the team from the '90s and early thousands. They knew they were in for a hard time. But now, unfortunately, we've progressed and we've got to move forward because that's the way life is. I've been to the Emirates on a few occasions, but I like to have been there yesterday because just their sheer intensity. I mean, we've been around the Highbury when we won FA Cups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that alone. But I think, yeah, it's to me. I still would love us to be at Highbury because it's more of my attachment, my feelings to Highbury when I was growing up there.
Big Dog says there's no way we're getting top four, and I've got to concur. I concur. There's no way we're getting top four. Mubay says came on the show right after we got spanked by Man City, and it was doom and gloom. I was bringing the positivity vibes. We is Don Larry. We need to talk. Listen, we'll get you back. This Easy Talk coming. It won't be on a Friday. It'll be on a Saturday, but I still need to contact some guys. So we'll see if we can get you guys back on the following Easy Talk. Give it time, Mube. Give it time, man. Patience.
He's stocking up here. He's stocking up.
Good evening, Alex and Ralph. Come on, you Gunners. Come on, you Gunners. Nice one, Gary. Nice one, Gary. Go for a few more because they said we'll do it in 45 minutes. We're going for like 52 minutes. Alex, did Aubameyang prove you wrong yesterday? He's my striking captain. No, he didn't prove me wrong. Someone put a tweet out this morning and they said, there, I said it. Lazy Aubameyang. That's all he is. He was making space, quick movements for his teammates. He's lazy. And for me, I took a different view on this. It wasn't so much he was lazy. The fact of the matter is he knew that Thierry Henry was in the stadium. He knew it was a North London derby. So he gave that extra 50%. Aubameyang, you have to give that extra 50% for every game. You can't pick and choose. You cannot pick and choose. Show me your heart for every single game going forward. Did he prove me wrong? No, he didn't prove me wrong. He proved me right. That he just turns up when he wants to. Anyway, Ralph.
Oh, that's a rather loaded.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, let's put it this way. There was no chance of him being late twice.
I don't know, Ralph.
There's no chance of him being late twice. You know what I mean? So, but to me, he's still got a lot to prove. But it's all good. Like you said earlier, it's all good when everything's going rosy. I'm looking towards the times when we need him to turn up against the Man United, against Liverpool, against Everton and Leicester, West Ham, Crystal Palace. It's great scoring yesterday because the football was free flowing, but against the other teams I mentioned, it's going to be a sterner test. And he, as the captain, he's got to lead from the front. So whenever he gets a chance, as long as he puts the ball in the back of the net, he won't hear from me. He won't hear from me. It's when he doesn't. And when his body language is negative. He's not telling the players around him what to do, how to do it. You got a goalkeeper, Ramsey, only coming 5 minutes, and he's shouting at his players already.
There you go. Move his comeback. He says, when Emery left, we were 15th. I'm not going there with the Emery thing. He changed from the manager Well, he wasn't manager. He was a coach. He was the head coach. Never got given a title of manager. He was the head coach. Don't get it twisted. That started here and went to who he is now. That's Spanish Jose Mourinho. Same reason PSG got rid of him. Let me just move on. Let me just move on. Put some respect on my captain's name. My striker, my captain. One bad season changes nothing. Has Kroenke done an interview in the last 5 years about Arsenal? No. He sends out his son to be protection. The man's... Okay, all right. Okay, big dogs. Come on, come on. Keep it reasonable. When at Highbury, we were a family club. Now the Emirates, we are a business-only club. Well said, actually. Well said, indeed. Yeah. Ralph, are you talking about the training ground under, I think, near the car park at Highbury? I don't remember the training. I don't remember the training ground, Ralph, man.
Yeah, we've been there a couple of times. We used to go there with even with the one of the couple of the football teams that we used to play with. They trained. They trained. It was like an AstroTurf, indoor AstroTurf pitch. It was.
But then he's saying that the training ground under. I don't remember.
I think it was there by the car park. We're talking years ago, however.
Yeah.
But it was their ground. It was their training ground.
Okay.
I tell you what, if you look at under 89, I think there may have been a clip of them training in the training facility in the 89 documentary. Have a look at it, and then I'm sure it hasn't, like, you know, registered or bounced a memory in your noggin, like.
Okay. Alex, I'm still. I'm still all but out. Maybe we should get Tony. I don't say that because Mube's still in the live chat, man.
Oh, there he comes.
Yeah, he came 100% every game since he's been here. You're judging him off one bad season. He carried us for 3 and won us a trophy. Just like you say, back our manager, back our captain when he's off form. Well, like I said before, Mube, you can't say in work terms, all right, you know what, I did that 3 years ago. Can I have a wage rise because of what I did 3 years ago? I think, excuse me, that was 3 years ago. Was 3 years ago. We're talking about now, Mube. We're talking about now. You can't say what I did 3 years ago. I demand a pay rise. I demand a long-term contract. It doesn't work that way, Mube. It doesn't work that way. We demand, because, like Don, I said to you, with so much is given, so much is demanded of that person. We demand so much from your captain, your talisman. You can't say what you did 3 years ago. Yeah, we're living in the here and now, Mube. Not 3 years ago. 3 years was 3 years ago. It's not now. So the same way that I remain consistent with Unai Emery, Arsene Wenger, Ljungberg, and Arteta, I don't like the way that we treat our managers. Players are going to come and go. And the funny thing is, Mube, is like when we don't get the results, who gets it in the neck? When the players don't turn up, when the players turn up late, who gets it in the neck? It's the manager, not the player, not your captain, Mube. So whenever you're ready to come on the easel, eyes ready for your brother.
Blood fire.
Talking about 3 years. Talking about 3 years ago. 3 years was 3 years ago. We're talking about the here and now. 2021, brother. Come on, man. Come on. Sorry, you want to say something before we wrap it up?
I think we're going to have to wrap up before Moonbase starts. Get a jet plane and do a physical. He's going to come in there.
Yeah. And like you're saying there, it's not only about the players, Mube, it's about the manager as well, because managers are going to have a bad day at the office. Yeah, so I don't want to talk about the Unai Emery situation there, but you were so quick to say, oh, you know what, second season, things are not working, we've got to get rid of him. I would have a Unai Emery here. Why? He's won the Europa Cup. How many times? How many times have we won it? He got us to the final, only for your number 10 not to turn up. That's so disrespectful on social media. Anyway, that's a debate we're going to have on the Easy Talk. I can't wait for your move. I was ready for your move. Dear. Ralph, yes, it was there. Okay, the training. Okay, all right. Do you know what? We're gonna have to wrap it up. We're just literally on an hour, dead on an hour, on the hour, and we're done on a second segment of the Canon project. Yeah, movie. I was waiting for you, man. The funny thing is, Ralph, you know, as I've been like in the hot seat for almost 3 years now, I try and remind myself that when I'm hosting, it's not about me. It's about the contributors who come on to give in their opinions. So I always try and hold fast, not to give my. I'm just there just to motivate and moderate everybody on the Easy Talk. But Move Gooder, man, I'm about to break.
Big red flag coming.
All right. Well, listen, on this second segment of the Canon project, yeah, but it won't be every Monday. It'll be the odd Monday because it's just the way it is. Just the way it is. But when it does come, when it touches down, make sure you guys do tune in and check it out. But Ralph, thank you for coming and filling the shoes of James Rowe and the Godfather himself, man. Nice one.
No, it's a pleasure. I think with James Rowe, happy birthday, James. Hope you have a wonderful day so far. You know, the boys done you good yesterday. And El Tel, if he's over hurling with Tim, is it Tim Warren as well? I know El Tel is a fantastic ambassador, I would say, ambassador of the game as well. And I think we're very honored and blessed to have people like them to help, you know, grow the channel, and of course our subscribers and our viewers as well from today. I did say I still need to sort this competition thing out as well. So Alex and I will be having some more conversations about that because it's a bit overdue. But I've been waylaid with work and other stuff. But it will come very, very soon. But no, thanks very much for having me, Alex. Thanks for having me. And
right, man. It's a pleasure. Yeah. The Canon project, man. I can't wait to gun down Mube. But anyway, big Canon.
No, Mube, we'll say, hang on, I'm just defending it. I'm blocking it with my Hennessy bottles, man.
All right, people. So we're out. I hope you enjoyed the second segment of the Canon project on Canon 4 TV. My brother will be dropping, at some stage, the Voice of Reason, very, very soon. Very, very soon. I'm not in there. All right, guys. Thank you to our moderators moderating on the Monday evening Canon project, as well as all the viewers. The numbers top up just almost at 40 at any one time. And yeah, to the chairman of the board, Mube Gunnar, can't wait for the Easy Talk, man. Not this.
Don't make it personal. Don't make it personal.
Don't make it personal. All right, that's it. And enjoy your evenings or your morning, your afternoons, wherever you are in this world. And you have been listening to Canon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.